Pokemon Go has just been sold for $3.5 billion to Scopely Inc. And we have talked about this in the past about what would happen, but now let's go through it in all detail. What's going on? What Niantic are going to do now? What is happening with Scopely? Who are Scopely? Is Pokemon Go going to die? What's going to happen? Let's just quickly all go through it now. I've got the article up with me, as you can see now. So we're going to go through it. This article covers two in total, one with Scopely, one with Niantic, to summarize everything. Now, before we go through all of this, I want you guys to like and subscribe, and also join the Discord link in description or in the comments to add me in game, or even arrange a trade for GoFest Paris. Now, we also talked about this in the past and what would it mean for Pokemon Go, but Niantic are actually selling their entire games department. As you can see, Pikmin Bloom, Pokemon Go, Monster Hunter Now, and Campfire, as well as Wayfarer. Now, let's go through all of the news. Now, I'm just going to quickly move my camera so I'm not in the way. There we go. So, obviously we have the news from Niantic's side, and they will be joining Scopely, a video game developer and publisher home to a wide range of leading games of talented teams around the world. Now, if you didn't know, Scopely own Monopoly Go. They also own Marvel Strike Force, and they are owned by a larger conglomerate based in Saudi Arabia. That's what getting a lot of people worried. But this video is meant to calm everyone's nerves, to let you people know what realistically is going to happen, and as well as my predictions and my hopes for the game. Now, Scopely have openly shared that they admire the game and its community. Now, a big thank you to Pokemon Go Hub for summarizing everything in one article, because I don't want to read through two to waste you guys' time. Ed Wu, the Pokemon lead at Niantic, has shared a few details on the blog post about the future of Pokemon Go and the team behind it. Now, here's something that I just wanted to let you guys know. The current team behind Pokemon Go are going to stay with the game. They're not leaving. No one is leaving. Everyone currently working on the game for Pokemon Go are staying. So we're not going to get like a whole rebrand of the game. We're not going to get raid battles being super changed. We're getting Go Battle League changed. Everything will stay the same, and they did make an emphasis on GoFest. GoFest are going to continue for many years, which is exciting because, well, GoFest is just year, so people were worried that this might be the last GoFest ever. No, we're going to get GoFest, so we're getting more GoFests. They are optimistic about the partnership. Obviously, they're going to have to be optimistic and be like, butter up and everything like that, because, well, they're not going to say it's openly bad, is it? So they are going to be openly investing in the real-world community aspects of Pokemon Go, which a lot of people were worried about with the implementation of more monetization with the, obviously, remote raid passes. People were worried that if they added more remote features, such as being able to remote Gigantamax, Dynamax, or Shadow Raids, the communities might die entirely. But luckily, they are just letting people know that this is going to happen. Now, they have noted that the game will not remain the same. People saying that nothing will happen. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, you are wrong. You are incorrect. This is actually going to be different. The game is going to be changing in some sort of way, whether it's a major or minor change. The game will see some changes. So we're going to talk about that very soon. So now let's just quickly talk about the Scopely side of things. You can see they own Stumble Guys, they own whatever Tiki Solitaire is, but they have published 3 articles. Why they're teaming up with Niantic Games, why they are like acclaiming the business, which includes Pokemon Go, and their message to the Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, and Monster Hunter Now players. Now, they are the #1 mobile game company in the US. The #1 mobile game company. That is huge. They are a massive company. Now, this deal is valued at $3.5 billion. That is a lot of money. That is a ridiculous amount of money, but it obviously shows that Pokemon Go holds a lot of weight. Now, adding to their portfolio, among other apps and live experiences. Now, let's quickly go through some stats. Pokemon Go has 20 million weekly active players. 20 million is crazy weekly players. And the top 10 mobile game every year since its launch in 2016, Pokemon Go has explored more than 30 billion miles together. Thank you so much, Spoofers, for that one. But John Hank, founder and CEO of Niantic, said, "Niantic games have always been a bridge to connect people and inspire exploration, and I'm confident that we will continue to do so as part of Scopely." Scopely shares our focus on building and operating incredible live services, has exceptional experience working with the world's biggest and most beloved intellectual properties, and cares deeply about its players' communities and game-making teams. I firmly believe this partnership is great for our players and is the best way to ensure that our game has the long-term support and investment needed to be forever games that will endure for future generations. Now, I like the emphasis on long-term support and forever games, because a lot of people were actually concerned. There are concerns starting to arise as we slowly, very, very gradually catch up to the main series games through debuting Pokemon. That's why we have to be drip-fed content like Sizzlipede coming out, which is a couple regions ago now. This is a very interesting statement because that means there will be changes to how things are going to be rolled out. There will be changes to what content we'll get, and there will be changes to what happens over time with this overall acquisition, which means we could either get more content and then more kind of newly implemented content, if you know what I mean. Instead of just debuting new Pokemon, we can get new features debuted as a way to fill in the gaps, or everything will slow down and we'll get less Pokemon debuts and maybe more, I don't know, raid days, for example, to fill out those blanks. It's going to be very interesting to see how they approach this, but let's just look into it some more. Now, if you're wondering why Niantic sold their game division, they are going to spin off their technology platform into a new standalone entity known as Niantic Spatial Inc., led by Hanky. Sorry if I've probably destroyed that. Niantic Spatial will be a geospatial AI company powered by a next-generation map, enabling devices and machines to understand and interact with the physical world. Niantic Spatial will continue to own and operate AR games, Ingress Prime and Peridots. Those games were actually out before Pokemon GO, I do believe. Now, Ed Wu and Kei Kawai will join over 2,300 Scopelians, well, employees of Scopely, across Asia, EMEA, North America, and Central America to continue to develop and operate their beloved experiences. It's been an incredible joy to serve hundreds of millions of trainers in our real-world community for the past 10 years, and I truly believe the best is yet to come, said Ed Wu, SVP of Pokemon GO. Our mission remains clear, to inspire people to discover Pokemon in the real world together with Scopely's full commitment, experience, and resources. We're going to make out of Pokemon GO the very best it can be, from incredible battles for thousands of trainers at a time at our live events, to new ways to connect to your friends and community. Most importantly, we'll remain focused on the excitement and experience of discovering Pokemon in the real world. Now, I think if I can see any sort of pattern in these statements, is that they seem to have an emphasis on the in-person community aspect of the game, the real-life aspect of Pokemon GO, if you will, which I believe is very positive, which really, really fascinates me as to what direction they're going to go. Now, let's answer some questions, let's stop the worrying, let's stop the insane, I don't know, hate, or, I don't know. There's a lot of hate, there's a lot of disliking about this, but let's quickly just talk about it. I'm going to throw some gameplay in the background, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts as well as initial predictions. So, let's get rid of this screen, boom. So, overall, I believe that this change will be it will have a positive aspect at the beginning, and I don't believe we're going to see many changes full stop for a while. I believe that the acquisition will take a little bit to settle in. I believe we might be able to see some major changes after GoFest because, well, as we know, Niantic have planned events in advance. GoFest is already planned in advance. We know that leaks are probably detailing that we'll be getting, spoilers, if you quickly mute the video if you don't know what's coming next. Applin, Appleton, and Flapple have been shown in the files, which I'm super excited by. I love Appleton. But, Niantic have planned in advance. They know what they want to add to the game, they know what's coming to the game, they know what events are planned ahead, so this will most likely continue to be normal for maybe the next 3 months or so, 3 to 4 months. After this, depending on how far they've planned ahead, then we might be able to see some changes trickle into the game. Or, alternatively, they might have retroactively changed some plans since Scopely is now in power. They could quite easily go through and change, I don't know, if they had a Mega Sharpedo Raid Day for example, they had that planned, they could go ahead and easily change that to, I don't know, like a Rayquaza raid day or a Groudon raid day. That's just an example. They're not going to do that. I've seen a lot of concerns around the monetization around their previously owned games, such as Marvel Strike Force and Monopoly Go. I've personally talked to people on, well, both on Twitter, in person, and Reddit, just to ask people's opinions about what their games have been like when Scopely acquired them. And as for Stumble Guys, they said it was overall a positive, but there is obviously some negatives from it, as well as some heavy monetization. The thing that I want to bring up that I see a lot of people not really bothering to do is that I don't want to be rude to Monopoly Go players. I don't want to come across as rude to Stumble Guy players, Marvel Strike Force players. As we mentioned previously, Pokemon Go remains in the top 10 most popular mobile games, period. Pokemon Go is just different gravy. It is a different entity entirely. It functions differently to a regular mobile game where you could just sit indoors and play it. Pokemon Go isn't that. Pokemon Go is community-based. Pokemon Go is activity-driven. Pokemon Go is based upon one of the most successful, if not the most marketable franchises of all time, which is Pokemon. I believe that comparing Pokemon Go to any other mobile game being acquired by Scopely is not going to give you the best results, because this is very different. It's a very different way of monetizing it. You can't just go, here's a pack and a new hero, or like, here's a new costume for, I don't know, 20 quid. It will be much more different. It could be heavily monetized. It could be more tickets in the shop. God forbid we get more tickets in the shop. It could be more Pokecoin offers. It could be pop-ups. It could be ads. I highly doubt that we will get monetization that gets in the way of a free-to-play experience. But I believe that they know that trying to thrive an in-person community, which they seem to be interested by, if they want to thrive an in-person community, I believe that they will have to consider the upsides and the downsides of monetizing content at the cost of in-person communities. I think they need to be careful. They need to monitor what changes this will make to their game and how overall this will impact the player base. I think when they make their first change, I believe that they will have to listen to community, period, just to know if anything is off about what they're doing. But what I also wanted to talk about while I was here is that a lot of people are saying like horrible things towards Niantic, saying like, screw you, we didn't want you anyways, we're out of here, hello Scopely. I think we need to cut Niantic some slack for what they've done recently. Ignoring Unnovator, that's a different thing. Overall, I believe Niantic have been a slightly misunderstood company over the years, like looking retroactively on it now that we can properly do so. I believe that Niantic made some silly decisions and they tried to backpedal and see how they could fix it, and they genuinely cared about their in-person communities, because getting rid of the remote raid pass market like a couple of years ago to emphasize in-person gameplay, I believe in the long run that was the best decision they could have made. It might sound controversial, but I really feel like having remote raids being cheap and unlimited really hurt in-person communities. I really felt that it did. But let's quickly talk about the article that Scopely have posted about a message to us Pokemon Go players, as well as Pikmin Bloom and Monster Hunter now. Let's quickly go through that. Let's go through that now, and I'll quickly reveal my screen again. Is the text here? Yeah, the text. I'm in the way now. Let me... Whoop, there I am. Hey guys, I'm over here now. But here is a message to the Niantic Games player communities from the Scopely team. Today we shared publicly that we have signed an agreement to acquire games business of Niantic Inc., which includes its team, games, and apps and services, including Pokemon Go, Pikmin Bloom, and Monster Hunter now. Let's quickly look at it says team, games, and apps. So that means Campfire is going with them, as well as the whole Pokemon Go team. People seem to forget that maybe the Pokemon Go team isn't coming with them. No, everyone is staying with them. That means the approach to the game will most likely be pretty similar. Developing the best player experiences for years to come. Our approach at Scopely is to empower game makers to deliver the best possible player experiences for their communities and go after the roadmaps that they have inspired to pursue. With this acquisition, our role is to support the Niantic team on their creative journey, providing the space, resources, and freedom to innovate and iterate on what makes these games meaningful to you. So, I wanted to talk about that one more time because they seem to emphasize the long-term benefits of Pokemon Go. Just a little banana guy at the bottom. They seem to want to emphasize, look, even in a ad where it emphasizes we've got Monster Hunter now, Pikmin Bloom, Pokemon Go is used with the image, and an in-person event, mind you. I believe that their initial statement of in-person communities being the priority is, probably the best thing they could have done, because that's what a lot of communities thrive on. Communities are getting bigger and bigger now. I think Pokemon Go is, I believe, exponentially growing this year. I'll have to look at the stats for that, but I really, really, really hope that they treat the communities with care. That's my main concern. So, I just wanted to do one final little chat with you guys. Oh, I've moved my camera, that's kind of annoying. But, I know this video is a bit unscripted, but it's because it was. I just wanted to get my honest thoughts out to everyone. I don't want to get like a script out. I don't want to plan everything ahead. I wanted to read it, react to it with you guys. And I apologize that it's a bit longer than a usual video. It's 17 minutes long, so that's my bad. But overall, I am nervously excited for what they could do with the game in the future. It could be incredible. They could really like breathe some life into the game, implement some incredible features, and like really get the game going again. Or they could end up making some silly decisions, and the community we as a community are a strong and united community. Like the Hear Us Niantic movement and the month where a lot of people decided not to spend any money on Pokemon Go. I believe that did something. That really showed a message that we are willing to speak up against these stupid mistakes and silly decisions, just to show that we care about this game and the community are willing to fight for it. So I really feel like that even if they do something stupid, we will be there to tell them that it is stupid, and they will see the consequences of their actions when they do something dumb, or they will notice when people don't want to buy a $20 pack or something like that. So my final thoughts are, I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited to see what happens. It could be amazing for the game, and as a person that's only started making content since December of last year for Pokemon Go, I'm cautiously excited. I'm really excited to talk to people at the in-person Go Fest about the acquisition. A lot of people don't even know. Some people are finding out today that this was even going to be a thing. So make sure to like, subscribe, join the Discord, final reminder, link in description or in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I also got my braces removed. Did you see?